Welcome to Studio D in the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is SoonerSports Pad.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SoonerSports Pad right here in Studio D in the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm host Matthew Fresquez alongside Tim O'Donnell and Lauren Lorenzo Nevitt. Guys,
all right.
It's great to be here with you.
Oh, it's great, and that crowd just fires me up. Every time they get fired up, I get fired up. Thank you.
And speaking of the audience, we have members of the OU wrestling team here today, so thanks for being with there, guys.
If you look at them wrong, they're going to put you in the ground. That's just how it is. They're that good. All right, coming up, we have current OU student and U.S. gymnast Jake Dalton. He's going to join us right here in Studio D.
And later on, we'll go deeper into the leadership of the captain of the men's gymnastics team, Dylan Akers.
And in face-off, how far can Matt Oversee extend his hitting streak? Me and Lauren are going to debate that in face-off.
So, guys, we have a lot of great stuff coming up, but we start right now with women's basketball in the NCAA tournament, making a lot of noise. And after beating the Chippewas, yes, the Chippewas, by 5 points in the first round, Tim, they went up against number 3 seed UCLA in round number 2.
And Aaron Ellenberg was on fire, 8 of 20, 27 points. She was really the catalyst that led the Sooners over the Bruins.
Well, like they say, shooters got to shoot. Oklahoma rolls 85-72. And, Lauren, that would put them in the Sweet 16.
And, you know, not many people thought that the women's basketball team would make it to the Sweet 16, even past the first round.
Yeah, injuries really was the story of this season for the Sooners. Ultimately, would be their demise.
Yeah, and like you said, Sunday, Oklahoma City against Tennessee. 9 minutes in, Morgan Hook goes down.
And like I said, story of the season for the Sooners. Final nail in the coffin. They had no playmakers left. Hook was on the bench. It was all down from there.
Well, that paired with shooting 30% from the field as opposed to the Vols 43%. The Sooners would drop this one, officially ending their season. After the UCLA game, head coach Sherry Cole talked about the perseverance her team showed all season.
Special season, a special group of kids. They have just persevered, and they really put themselves in a position to deserve something good. They played their tails off tonight. Effort, energy, emotion, confidence, all those things put together at the perfect point in time. We're just so excited to be going back to Oklahoma City. We got a long night ahead of us, plenty of time to prepare for them. Till the sun comes up, though, we're going to love every minute of this one.
Well, and the women's basketball season is over. Another season is over, but on a higher note, for Kendrick Maple, who becomes the first Sooner wrestler in 8 years to win an individual national championship. He defeated Mitchell Porton of Edenboro to take home the 141-pound title. He's one of 5 wrestlers this year to go undefeated. This is the 66th individual national championship in the program's history, and the second national championship already for OU this season. T. Brooks took home an individual championship in the shot put in track and field, so great start to 2013 for the Sooners.
Definitely good for Kendrick Maple. And Sooner baseball is making their way into Big 12 play, and they're not doing too shabby. They're ranked number 1 in the Big 12. Oklahoma has already swept TCU, and last weekend they won 2 out of 3 against Kansas. Saturday's loss to the Jayhawks ended OU's 13-game winning streak, but not all was bad. Jonathan Gray and Dylan Overton have been having outstanding performances. They've been throwing gems. Gray threw a complete game against the Jayhawks with 12 strikeouts, tying its career high, and only gave up 1 run on 2 hits. And don't forget about Matt Oversee. Last Thursday, he broke Marty Neff's 1991 hit streak school record when he blasted a hit in his 28th straight game. And it just happened to be a home run in the first inning of the series opener against Kansas. This hit was huge. It went past the trees and hit a shed. Oversee continued his hitting streak throughout the weekend and is now at 30 straight games.
30.
And he's halfway there to breaking the all-time record. Oklahoma is now 5-1 in Big 12 play.
And now over to men's tennis. They're ranked number 11 in the country, and they're playing like it. They're coming off consecutive sweeps over number 37 San Diego and number 69 Rice. Against Rice on Easter Sunday, the match lasted less than 2 hours. The Owls had to forfeit 2 matches because of injury, but the Sooners came out on fire and took care of business early. The women's tennis team, a huge upset over Bedlam rival and 25th ranked Oklahoma State. After being swept in doubles, ladies come out quick, won their first 4 singles matches. That earned them the win 4-3. Great comeback for them.
Well, and from the court to the water, OU rowing in California on Saturday, taking on number 9 Stanford in the Pac-12 Challenge. Oklahoma, though, lost by less than 6 seconds in 3 of the 4 races. You can't lose 3 of 4. That's not how it works. That's not good enough. The Cardinals sweep the Sooners in Cali, but that's okay because Sooners softball, arguably the best team at Oklahoma right now.
Absolutely.
They were in Wichita Wednesday and continued their dominance, winning 7-1 and 16-1. Oklahoma remains number 1 in the nation at 30-2 on the season, and OU currently has the best ERA in the nation at 1.07. This supported by Michelle Gascoigne's 13-1 record and Kalani Ricketts' 15-1 record. Next up for the Sooners, a doubleheader Wednesday in Norman against Louisiana Lafayette. Check them out. They're fun. They hit bombs all over the field.
It seems like every time we talk about an OU team, we talk about how much they just keep winning and winning and winning. It's become a tradition.
Yeah, and every single time we talk about a winning team, we always jump to a losing team. I don't know how that happens, but men's basketball, their season is done, losing in the first round to San Diego State University in the NCAA tournament. And right now, we've learned a lot about this team, though. We're going to go through the 3 quick things that we learned this season. And for me, it's just that Lon Kruger is without a doubt, he's the right guy for the job, and he's got this team on the right track. He's taken an irrelevant team to a 20-11 NCAA tournament team, and this is what he's done everywhere he's been.
All right, well, for me, it's that this team is stocked with a bunch of young talent. They got a lot of depth. You have your freshmen Isaiah Cousins, Buddy Hield, Jelon Hornbeek, all those guys. And they've just been stepping up in huge roles, been getting a lot of playing time. I think the senior class had a lot to do with it. They taught their freshmen a lot.
I think we also learned that this team can compete with anyone in the Big 12. They beat Kansas at home. They beat Baylor twice, Iowa State. They made the NCAA tournament when no one really expected them to. This group is something that's going to progress. They're back on the college basketball radar for good, I think.
Well, I think
Definitely.
everybody here is energized about next season, looking ahead to next season. But in order to put a little bow on this season, we're going to look back at the top 5 plays/moments in this year's men's basketball season. And my boy Tim O'Donnell has number 5.
At number 5,
right,
Romero Osby against Iowa State with the huge slam. That guy did not want to be on a poster. He gets out of the way. I would too if he was
number
coming through the
4,
lane.
the dish to Ahmad Mbai. 2 defenders, no problem. I'm going to go underneath, reverse layup.
Number 3 against ULM, Sooners trap him, throws the ball away. Isaiah Cousins down. Is he going for a layup? No. Ahmad off the glass, dunk. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does.
Well, and at number 2, Isaiah Cousins with another sick reverse layup against number 5, Kansas. That helped OU to its first win over the Jayhawks since 2005.
I ran
of
on
course,
the
the fans stormed the ground.
Congratulations.
That happened.
I think a lot of people were.
And
Yeah,
here we go
it
to
wasn't
the
just
number
you.
1 play of the season, Ahmad Mbai. Buddy Hield says, Alley, Mbai answers, ooh. This would also lead to a huge win against Texas. Well,
Great
coming up
plays.
on SoonerSports Pad, Tim and Lauren, they're going to go head-to-head and face off, and they're going to tell you what they think about women's gymnastics winning a national title. SoonerSports Pad, back after the break.
I'm Ahmad Mbai, and you're watching SoonerSports Pad.
SoonerSports Pad, the Chuck Taylors of sports shows.
Welcome back here in Studio D. It is now time for SoonerSports Pad Face-Off. Lauren and Tim are going to go head-to-head on 3 questions, sweeping the Sooner Nation right now. Now, Ahmad Mbai, he left for the NBA draft as a junior. The question is, how does Ahmad Mbai affect this team next season?
Honestly, I think Amat is going to be affected more than the actual team. Lon Kruger said before, Amat would have really benefited from another year at OU. He's leaving, so he's probably going to end up playing in Europe. But hey, he's from France, so is his whole family, so he shouldn't have a problem with that. The only thing Lon Kruger needs to worry about is filling his position.
And like you said, filling his position is going to create opportunities for more guys to step up. Ryan Spangler is one of those guys. Transferred from Gonzaga. His first year of eligibility is this upcoming season, so he's going to be able to fill those shoes left by Mbai and Osby. He's a big guy, but he can shoot. And Cameron Clark off the bench, he's really can contribute as well, so we'll see if he can step up.
A lot of forwards are gone here for the Sooners. Now the next question, Matt Overstreet, baseball player here for the Sooners. His hitting streak is now at 30. How long can this hitting streak last?
Well, don't get me wrong, Obi is the man, but 58 straight games is going to be a hard streak to break, and that's where Ventura's is at right now. I'm saying he's going to get around 40. He should be able to get past this weekend because we're going against Kansas, and their pitching staff isn't all that great. But if he makes it to 45, that's going to become national news.
I have a feeling by the end of this whole thing, people are going to be saying, Robin Ventura who? Matt Overstreet can't be stopped right now. He's going to run over this D1 record of 58 games. He's already halfway there. Some tough games coming up in the Big 12, a steep schedule. But teams haven't figured him out yet because he has that perfect combination of power and finesse. He can hit home runs or he can find the gaps. I think he's going to break the record.
Well, 30 is hard to do, 58 even harder. I don't know if it can happen. But now on to women's gymnastics. They have the NCAA regional match here in Norman on Saturday. They have to finish in the top 10 to move on to the Super 6. The question is, can this women's gymnastics team win a national title? Lauren?
Well, women's gym is definitely going to make it to the Super 6, I think. Their toughest competition is going to be Florida, but I think overall women's gym is going to come out on top. They easily won the Big 12 title. They shouldn't have a problem with the national championship. They've got a lot of talent, Taylor Spears, Brie Olson, so I don't see why they can't do it.
I agree with you. They're very talented. They're very good, but they're not national championship good. Look,
oh,
OU has won 5 of the last 6 Big 12 championships. They haven't found a way to get it done when it matters most. Second in 2010, third in 2011, seventh in 2012. They're getting farther away, not closer.
This is their year.
Well, I said a couple weeks ago, I said OU to win 3 national championships. They already have 2, so I got to say no.
So basically, what Tim is saying here is that he would rather be right than the Oklahoma Sooners winning national champions. Now we're going to turn to our audience to see who won this face-off. Who thinks Lauren won? All right, easy. Now, who think Tim won?
Oh, wow.
Lauren is our winner. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Now it is time for a very special appearance. We know this was a couple weeks ago. We actually made this video a few weeks back. It's starting to get a little old now, but this is the network broadcast premiere of the SoonerSports Pad Harlem Shake. P.S. It's better than the football teams.
Yeah. Way better.
Man, that was shake-tastic. Anyways, coming up on SoonerSports Pad, we are joined by U.S. gymnast, Olympic gymnast, Jake Dalton. Stay tuned.
Special thanks to our television cornerstone partners, Chesapeake Energy, WindStar World Resorts, OU Outreach, OU Presidents Associates, and the OU Alumni Association.
Year after year, Oklahoma is home to one of the top men's gymnastics programs in the country. This year, team captain is an athlete who took leadership a lot earlier than even his coach predicted. With SoonerSports Pad Whitney Ewing looks at what Dylan Akers' team saw in him.
He's the last one to leave after almost every practice.
It's a great example for the younger guys and for the guys who maybe not be as motivated. You know, him being the example that they can come in here, be the first one here, and be the last one out is what everyone needs to see.
He's the center of the team's energy at almost every meet.
He's flailing his arms up and down. He's screaming at the top of his lungs, you know, let's go, guys, let's go. And that's what we need. We feed off of energy, and Dylan is what brings that to the table.
These are the things sophomore Dylan Akers' teammates saw when they chose him as their captain. While he was surprised at his team's decision, head coach Mark Williams knew Akers would step up to the challenge.
I think, you know, Dylan has kind of displayed that athletically what he does in the gym has put him in a position of a leadership position with the other guys. They respect what he does. And sometimes I think it's not just about age, but it's about what you bring to that position.
Even Akers did not expect to be chosen for the position.
It was a surprise. Especially over the summer, I'd gotten shoulder surgery, so I mean, I wasn't really in a position where, you know, I was like a stud like Jonathan Horton or anything like that, but the fact that I was elected as a captain was a tremendous honor, and I'm really grateful for it.
Akers says the surgery to repair a twice dislocated shoulder and the recovery that followed turned out to be a positive and helped push him to new heights. After the team finished second last year, Akers and the Sooners are gearing up to make another national title run. Whitney Ewing, SoonerSports Pad.
As long as Akers can stay healthy, he will return next season as one of the team's top gymnasts. The gymnast team is now headed to Colorado this weekend to see if they can defend their title. Now we are joined right now by Lauren and Tim again, and we are going to continue our position-by-position breakdown for the men's Sooners football team. This time we're looking at offensive and defensive line. A lot of things moving around, just like every other position. Lauren, what is the defensive line looking like?
Well, when it comes to the D-line, you think of Chuka. He's been putting on extra weight to switch back and forth from defensive end and defensive tackle. He's one of the only returning starters, so his versatility is going to be key in building the D-line around him. Our D-line wasn't really up to par last year, as we saw in the bowl game against A&M, so hopefully our new coach, Jerry Montgomery, coming in will be able to whip him into shape.
Well, and Tim, when you lose a top 10 draft pick like Lane Johnson, it's hard to replace him. How is this offensive line going to bounce back?
Well, I think that's one of the big stories is who's going to replace Lane Johnson. Leadership-wise, I think Gabe Eicher, the senior center guard, he has a broken hand right now, so we'll see what he does. But Tyrus Thompson has the ability as well. He started 5 games last year, left tackle and right tackle. I think he'll take Lane's position. But Bill Biedenbow, the new offensive line coach, he comes in from West Virginia where he had a top 10 offense 2 seasons in a row. I think he's going to help produce this offense a little bit more.
Coaches could be the biggest factor as both sides have new head coaches, new coaches.
Definitely.
All right, now coming up on SoonerSports Pad, we are joined by Mr. Jake Dalton. He'll be right here with Tim and Lauren. He's going to get interviewed. SoonerSports Pad at the break.
Yeah, working out a little bit. Let's hang out with that guy, train,
Hanging out with
school.
that guy.
That's about it.
Oh, cool. You're good.
Sweet.
I'm James Fischilla, and you're watching SoonerSports Pad.
Welcome back to SoonerSports Pad. We are now in the presence of greatness. Jake Dalton, he's not only a member of the U.S. Olympic gymnast team, but he also won 4 national titles here as a Sooner. He is joined right now with Tim and Lauren. Jake Dalton, everybody.
Thanks for being here with us, Jake.
Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Now, Jake, you competed in the London Olympics this past summer. What did you take away from those games to help you in the future?
I took away a lot. You know, we didn't really do as well as we wanted to. We actually were first in the first prelims day. In finals, we had a few mistakes, but, you know, it kind of taught me a lot about character and be able to walk away with your head held high.
So because of your endorsement, you aren't allowed to compete with OU, even though you're a student here. What has it been like seeing your team compete and you not being able to be with them?
It's hard, you know. I actually haven't been in town for very many of the competitions. I actually was here for one of them, and I actually got to compete with them. You know, it's just a little bit of a show or exhibition for me, but it's been hard. You know, it was a lot of fun being out on the floor with those guys, and you know, you miss it a lot.
Now, since you're not on OU's team, are you still allowed to train with them, or do you have to go train at Team USA facilities? Or?
We do have national team camps that we all go to, but I do train here still. I'm a volunteer assistant coach, so not a paid position, but it allows me to train with the guys while I'm helping coaching and kind of, you know, bouncing back and forth.
So I hear you got into gymnastics through your baseball coach. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, you know, I just did a bunch of different sports when I was younger, and I was a pitcher. I mean, I was 6, so it wasn't too intense, but one of our coaches had told me, you know, gymnastics was good for just overall athletics, and it would help my pitching arm, so I kind of, you know, I tried it out and enjoyed it and stuck with that and kind of just stopped doing baseball.
Stuck with a good sport.
Exactly.
Now, next Olympics are in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah. What can we expect from Jake Dalton in those Olympics?
Well, just gonna, you know, keep training for the next couple years. Hopefully, it's really hard to make the Olympic team, especially this last year was a 5-man team, and it used to be 6, and even before that was 7. So it's gonna be hard, you know, just go train and hopefully bring back some medals.
So what will your goals be for the next few years up to the Olympics?
Next few years, you know, making the World Championship teams and just bringing back medals. You know, we got a 2011, we got a bronze medal as a team, and you know, hopefully not only bring back some team but some individual medals as well.
Now, you told me you're from Reno, Nevada, and you grew up rooting for the 49ers. So watching them in the Super Bowl this year, what was that like for you?
It was exciting, especially with Kaepernick being, you know, from University of Nevada, Reno. So it was pretty cool to see them out there, and you know, didn't exactly win, but you know, gave it a good fight. So it was pretty cool to watch. Anything else you like to do in your free time when you're not training? Just ride motorcycles, hang out, you know, just watch other OU sports.
Well, thanks. And Matthew, I think you have a fan question for us?
No, we don't have an audience question, but I'm going to tell you. It's all right. It's live TV. It happens. Okay. But coming up right now, we have Fresh Quest for Victory.
All right. And what Fresh Quest for Victory is our competition that we have every week. Fresh Quest usually competes. Sometimes we do. But we'll see who the winner is this time.
And this week we're going to be doing musical chairs. We're going to hope Jake can keep up with us. And Matthew doesn't really tend to win, so I think you should be okay in that.
I don't win at all. It doesn't matter what the game is. The game could be who knows Matthew Fresquez best. I still lose. I don't know how it is. All right, so if we can get the music. You know how musical chairs works, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, try not to. Okay. So we can get the music started.
All right,
let's go.
Let's get started.
No throwing
pretty famous song.
You guys are going down.
No
only
shooting
girl.
Anybody.
Only girl. Gonna win.
It's gonna give me. All right, if we can get the music going.
My competitive side is coming out.
There we go. Notice that this is Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
By our own Tony Jefferson.
By Tony Jefferson. There you go.
I'm getting nervous.
Oh! I got it.
You're cheating. Stop. Yes, you are.
I'm not cheating. I'm just waiting for the music to stop.
No.
All right. When's the music going to stop?
This is going wild.
Yeah, it is.
It's working out.
Oh, wait! That's cheating!
What's it mean?
All right.
All right, here we go. And then there were 3.
Oh, God. 2?
Please.
2 chairs. Oh, I got it.
Please. Come on. Can you count?
You can't count.
Come on, Lorenzo. You got
Get off me. Get out of my space.
Who can hold the hand?
Prescott, you're cheating right now.
This is how the game is played.
No, it is not.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
All right, anytime now. That was cheap. That was cheap.
Didn't let the lady.
Yeah,
y'all saw it.
you guys saw it.
Y'all saw that.
It's fine.
Father end zone. All right, sorry. Here we go.
Oh, which one's saying?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
All right.
Handstands aren't going to help you here, Dalton.
You ain't know. Oh, you tired of run. Yeah.
I'm going for
Matthew,
Jake.
can you do a handstand walk around the chair? Can you do a handstand walk?
Handstand walk. Oh, man, we got a time.
Can you do a handstand walk around the
This
chair?
is going to take a while.
Probably, but then I won't win.
See, they're distracting you for
Exactly.
me. Secretly, they really like me, even though they don't act like it.
Hey, that's not cool.
That is cheating. That's cheap. That's cheap.
He's kicked out. Disqualified.
Yeah.
Dude,
This is the longest song ever.
It is the longest song ever. Tony Jump. Go!
No, you're good. No, it's fine. No, we're good. No, we're good.
I think we know who our winner's going to be today.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
Go, Jake!
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sooner Sports Pad. This is Jake Dalton. He's really strong. Make sure you check us out Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we'll be here. Sooner Sports Pad. We love you guys. Woo!